Hi everybody, it's Dr. Detroit here, the doctor is in. I want to welcome you all to a brand new series. Today we're leaving the world of Vrchat, but I'm still the same old Nardo that you guys know. But today, we're going to do something a little bit different. I figured, why don't we have some fun with some painting? So welcome to the wonderful, or I should say, the wonders of painting. This little series is going to be, every so often, we're going to be in a game called SuchArt. And here, we're going to make a fantastic little painting for you all. This series is kind of a tip of the hat, if you will, to the late great Bob Ross. And so I hope that you all enjoy it, and hopefully, it spawns some creativity in all of you. So, just like what Bob Ross does, he has his colors here. I'm going to run all the colors above the screen that you need to paint along with me, or you can have on your own palette. Up here I have a standard 18 by 24 inch canvas, and I've just covered it in a thin coat of white paint, or liquid white in this case. So that means it's all wet and slick and it's ready to go for us. So why don't we just go right into it. Alright, just going to go ahead and just get into some phthalo blue here. I'm just going to come up in here, and I'm just going to start dancing in. a nice sky. There we go. Now, as we go further down, the phthalo blue is going to mix with the white. It's going to create this beautiful scene here. There we go. Perfect. Alright, now, we have ourselves a nice little sky. Now, what I like to do is that I always like to have a nice little bit of water. So I'm going to go back into some phthalo blue. I'm going to mix that with some phthalo green. And maybe just make it a little bit brighter. That's probably what we're looking for. Now, we kind of want the water to come in from right about here. So we're going to bring this in like this. And I'm just going to go ahead and bring in the water like so. Just go like that. There we go. That's all we really have to do, is just bring in a little touch of water. And we even let some of that white come in as well. There we go. Perfect. Alright, with that same old dirty brush, I'm going to come up in here, and let's just go ahead and make a few little clouds. Let's just come in here and just do a little bit of a cloud deal. There we go. Let's make some happy little clouds right there. We don't usually have any idea of what we want to paint. We just kind of let ourselves, figure this stuff out. There we go. Perfect. All right, let's wash off the brush and some odorless paint thinner. Shake off the excess, and just beat the devil out of it. Now, I'm going to come back up in here into the blue, and I'm just going to blend this a little bit. I'm going to take a little bit of the brush strokes out of here. There we go. So there we got some of the blue out. Looks good. And let's just wash the brush off one more time. This time we don't have to beat the devil out of it. Okay, so now let's get into some real fun. Let's go ahead and make why not? Let's just go ahead and get a little crazy here. So I'm going to take some Indian yellow, mix that with a little touch of cad yellow. And now, decide where this is going to go. Hold on. Let's bring a little touch right in there. That's good. Okay, now we're going to do this. I'm just going to kind of tap the brush. We're just going to lightly tap and create, let's create a little sand area. Shoot, this is going to be fun. It's funny because we are recording this kind of in September, and it's still very hot. It's still very, very, very hot over here where I am. And a lot of people are saying, oh, I can't wait to put on my parka. Well, it's still like 100 and some odd degrees. But inside our little studio, we are cool at a good 72 degrees. There we go. So this is kind of like our little, I would say it's kind of like a sand area almost. There we go. There we go. Alright, let's wash off the brush again. It's always important to have odorless paint thinner, because believe me, if you open up a can of paint thinner and you just take a big whiff out of it, whoo, it's going to be really bad. Okay, so now we're going to have a little bit of fun back here. I'd say let's go ahead and take our big palette knife and let's create a few little mountains. I'm going to hit it with some phthalo white, or just give me some bright white. I'm going to touch it with the midnight black. Let's go ahead and put a little bit of the phthalo green in there, and a little bit more white. There. Now, decide where our mountain is going to go. I think this mountain is going to come in from somewhere. I think this mountain is going to come in right about here. So we're going to start up here. We're just going to cut down and bring it across like that. See that? Let's bring it a little bit more. So mix with the white, some midnight black, phthalo green, white again. Let's come back in here and just bring it across like so. Cool. Now we're just going to take our painter's knife, our painter's brush here. I'm just going to come in here and I am just going to pick up some of that. And I'm just going to blend this, and kind of like smooth this out a little bit. We don't need to worry too much about what this area looks like. There we go. Look at that. So our little mountain right here is looking really good. And what we could even do is that we could even like make it look like this a little bit. There we go. Okay, so there's our first part. I just kind of feel like we've been doing nothing but all that. All right, so there's our little grassy area. I thought it would be a mountain, but I'll pull the sneaky on you. And now let's do a little something over here. Like maybe, how about some better grass? So let's come in here and take a good amount of the sap green and mix it with a little touch of the phthalo green. All right, now the grass here is going to be very important. So we're going to come here, and we're going to cut across like so. Do it again. A little bit of that. Come back in here, and do some more. Now we take our brush, and I'm just going to go ahead, and I'm going to start blending. Just doing this little thing. There we go. There we go. And it's okay if it kind of gets into like the sand and stuff. Cause shoot, we don't know. We don't know what we're doing. Now, here's something else too. Notice how we've left this little area here perfectly white. Well, that's going to be something that we can do later. That's something we can have a little fun with in a few minutes here. So we'll just leave that little bit right there. Okay. Now then, we're gonna take the old fan brush here, and I'm just gonna pipe this up a little bit. I'm gonna take this newer green. I'm just gonna come in here and I'm gonna take some of that beautiful cad yellow and mix it with the Indian. And now what we're gonna do is this. Actually, I want it to be a little bit brighter. There we go. Now let's come in here. I'm just gonna go ahead and tap. There we go. As you can see, I've now made little grass things there. This is the cool part about all the details and stuff that come in. Look at that. And you can put as much or as little as you want. It don't matter. This is your little world. And your little world, as Bob always told us, you could do whatever you wanted in there. Okay, so now we have that situated. You know what I kind of want to do? I kind of want to, well, you guys know exactly what's going to be coming up next, I think. So we're going to take our thick brush here, our pointed thick brush, and go in here to some Indian yellow. I'm going to mix that with a little touch of the alizarin crimson. Now you got to be careful with the alizarin crimson, because this stuff here is very, very potent. It's very hot. It'll set your whole thing on fire. So now we're going to come in here, and I'm just gonna decide where everything's gonna go. And I think I'm just gonna plot my first tree right about here. There we go. I'm gonna plop another tree over here. Maybe this one's a little bit taller. Maybe this one had a bit more time to grow, and then this guy was probably a few years behind. And then let's say this guy right here is just the same height. So give him a little bit of friends. And while we're over here, I'm going to go ahead and make a tree as well. There we go. There we go. Okay. Now then, wash that off. And we take our fan brush and come back in here, get some of that sap green, and I'm just going to mix that with a little touch of the phthalo green. And now let's just come over here and let's just get nuts with this. Let's start at the very top. Let's just bring this down carefully. Don't get too crazy with this, but we're just gonna make some pretty little trees right here. Just some nice trees. Like maybe this one is kind of a low-hanging one. And this one up here, this one is going to kind of come down this way. There we go. And you don't have to worry too much about, what kind of thing you want to do with this. But make sure you really stick that brush into the canvas. These canvases are actually fairly strong. Sometimes you could actually take out some frustrations and things. But that's the thing about it too, is that sometimes we get a little too frustrated over things. And we let it consume us. That's why it's always good to make this and to use painting, if you will. Let me come back over here really quick. Let me just give this guy a little bit more. There we go. And now over here, we're going to go ahead and just do something pretty cool. We're going to take a little touch, just the littlest touch of the midnight black. Just a little bit. I'm just going to go over here, and I'm going to bring this down like this. Come over here to this side. Go a little bit lower here. There we go. And we got ourselves a nice little palm tree over there. All there by its lonesome. Okay. Let's move that out of the way. Alright. Now, remember that pathway I was talking about? Well, we got the path here again, and we're going to bring that fan brush back out, and I'm thinking that is going to be maybe a dirt road. So we're going to take alizarin crimson, mix that with some Indian yellow, probably brighten it up with some cad yellow a little bit, and take a little bit of the white. Alright, now let's see what we can do here. Let's go ahead and come in. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm actually going to do this. I'm going to go ahead and just carefully do this. There we go. Don't need to worry so much about the way it looks. If you know what you can do, right there. And then you come back in here. This will be our little dirt path that comes to the beach. There we go. Look at that. That's beautiful, isn't it? Okay, here we go. Alright, now I want to add something to this painting. So we're going to take our little liner brush. I'm going to take some black, and why don't we just add some birds? Why don't we just add a few little birds here. Just some birds flying like this. It could be seagulls, or they could be crows. Doesn't matter. You decide on which birds that you want to put in your painting. For me, I guess I like the crows. So we got some of those. But you know what? Oh shoot, why not? Let's go ahead and add a couple of seagulls into this because it looks like it's the coast. So here's a couple of seagulls right here. As the game decides to save at the wrong time, but that's fine. And they do kind of look like little M's, but if you look very carefully, you can actually see that some of these are birds. There we go. You can put as many or as little as you want in here. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Alright. Okay. Look at that. In the amount of time that you guys have watched this, you guys would truly have unlocked the wonders of painting. And now, the last thing we do with our painting is that we always put our signature, or in some cases our initials, as you can see right here. There we go. I hope this new series has inspired you to break out your paints and have some fun. And I will say, if you guys enjoy this series, I will do more of these. So if you want to see more, make sure you hit the like button, don't forget to comment, and also subscribe. And so, I'll see you all next time here in the Wonders of Painting. Until then, I'm Dr. Detroit. Take care, and God bless. And thank you, Bob Ross, for giving us the joys and wonders of painting.